Good morning, class 9. In the previous lectures, we studied about irrational numbers. We know the square root of all non-perfect squares, whether they are whole numbers or they are decimal numbers. If they are non-perfect squares, then they are irrationals. We did learn them to locate on the number line. So we got an idea about how big those numbers were. And then we learned to operate them under the four basic operators. We learned how to operate irrational with irrational, and we learned how to operate irrational with rational. Basically, there is no such difference, but we do know now how to operate them. So I'm just discussing here some more irrational numbers which we got as a result of these operators. Okay, when we add two irrationals, at times we are able to simplify them, just like root 2 plus root 8. Root 8 can be simplified like this. So the final answer is 3 root 2. Means at times the binomial turns into a monomial. At times it doesn't, just like root 5 plus root 3. Then it will stay like that. So can you locate 3 root 2 on number line? Yes, we can. It's actually 3 times root 2. We just have to locate root 2 and then go 3 times root 2 on the number line from 0. Okay, if we have root 3 plus root 5, can we locate it on number line? Yes, we should be able, because what do we need? We just need to find out root 3 and root 5 through right angle triangles, and from 0 first we have to go root 3 units, then root 5 units, or vice versa, because addition is commutative. So yes, the results obtained under additions, we are new irrational numbers, which new means somewhat more complex numbers, which we are able to locate on number line. So we do know what are their numbers, how big they are. Okay. Similarly, can we locate root 5 minus root 3? Yes, we can locate. You just have to go root 5 units on number line in the positive direction, and then from there you have to move backwards by root 3 units, and both of these units can be generated through right angle triangle. Then when we operate two irrationals, we get another irrational, at times irrational, at times rational also. Root 6 into root 5 is root 30. Can we locate it? Yes, we do learn. If we are multiplying root 2 into root 8, then we get a rational number, which is 4. Okay, and we do know how to locate it. Means the result of multiplication also can be located. Root 3 over root 2. Can we locate it on number line? How will we locate it? We'll go root 3 units on the number line in the positive direction. Then what to do? Means this is a new irrational number which we have to learn to locate. Coming over to irrational to rational. Root 2 plus root 2 plus 1. I'm operating an irrational with a rational number under addition operator. Can we locate them on number line? Yes, it's easy. Means addition and subtraction has always been easy, no? Root 8 plus 3, because plus only means and. 8 units, then 3 units. Root 8 units. Root 8 is 2 root 2 plus 3. So root 2 times root 2 on the number line, then 3 units of the number line again. We can locate it. Similarly, 4 minus root 7 can be located. First, we have to go 4 units of the number line towards the positive direction of x-axis, as 4 is positive. Then from there, we have to move backwards. Minus root 7 means moving backwards. Okay. So we can locate it. Similarly, 7 times root 3, this can be located. 7, we have to find out root 3, and 7 times we have to go on the number line. Now here we got another series, another numbers, just like root 7 over 2. Can we locate it? Root 7 over 2. What do we have to do? We have to find out root 7 through the right angle triangle, and then we just have to half it. Yes, this can be located, but can we locate it 2 over root 7? It's an irrational number. This is an irrational number, and these are also irrational, because an non-terminating and non-recurring decimal, when divided by 2, it's gonna be again non-terminating and non-recurring. Okay. Similarly here, 2 over root 7. we'll go 2 units on the number line and then divided by root 7. Can we locate it? So we still have a question mark for this. Not only root 3 over root 2 and 2 over root 7. We just take few examples here. There are many more numbers like this now. Okay, just like here we said root 7 over 2 can be located. Okay, but can we locate root 7 over 3? You know this can be located. You just have to find out root 7 and then you need to half it. You know how to half a number by perpendicular bisection technique. We have a geometric way to half a number. Okay, so we can locate it, but root 7 over 3. So in today's topic we'll be talking about this only. I rewrite my problems here, the problems of the irrational which cannot be located here. So here when we were discussing this, we said this can be located. Okay, we first have to find out root 7 on through the right angle triangle, and once we'll get it, we'll locate it on the number line from the 0. Okay, suppose we got root 7 and this is root 7, suppose. Okay, we can find out its half easily by perpendicular bisection technique. So this is half of it and this is actually root 7 over 2. Okay, if we further half it through perpendicular bisection, we do to bisect a line segment, we have a perpendicular bisection technique. Okay, so if we further bisect it, so we'll get this, and this is gonna be root 7 over 4. So through perpendicular bisection, we can find out root 7 over 2, root 7 over 4, root 7 over 8, just like this only. Okay, root 7. We can find out all of these, but root 7 over 3, root 7 over 5, root 7 over 11, or root 7 over 6, these all we didn't learn till now how to do this. Means we cannot do a third part of a line segment, fifth part of a line segment, 11th part of a line segment, and sixth part, and many more like that. But this is not a tough task. You'll be taught in class 9 how to do a third part, fifth part, 11th part, sixth part. Means you'll be able to do any fractional part of a line segment in class 10. It's a long procedure, cannot be taught right now, but yes, there is a procedure. So means the problem is sorted. Once we know that procedure, we will be able to locate root 7 over 3 also. Okay, root 7 over 8 we already know through perpendicular bisection. Root 7 over 2 we also know. Root 7 over 5 means these all can be located on number line. Okay, now the question is how to deal with this, because the technique which we are going to learn in class 10 can do any fractional part, but not one root 7th part. It can do 1/3, 1/8, 1/5, 1/2, 1/9, 1/99, 1/11. There is a technique, but for this we don't have any technique. So from this our problem reduces to root to the numbers which are of this type. I've just written 2, there are many more. Okay, these, how to locate these on number line. So this is our topic. Before I move ahead with this, we have to do a simple exercise. First, you may make a note in your notebook that our problem is this. Okay, a simple thing I want to ask you. What is this? So by now you would have calculated your answers, that this is 2, this is 3, this is 5. Okay, it's a pure logical. This is square root of 2, it's unknown. So this is called, what is this? This is itself. It's not from reading only. This square root of 2 is root 2. You can call this number square root of 2. This is square root of 2. When the root is multiplied with root, it gives actually the number. Okay, so square root of 2, this is the thing. So you can make it a shortcut, no need to go through a long procedure where you used to do it like this and then take out the root. So whenever I ask you root 7 into root 7, it is 7. And similarly for all numbers. Now coming over to the problem, okay, which is 2 over root 7. How to locate it on number line. Again telling you, we do not have any problem locating the irrational numbers whose denominators are rational. But we do have a problem in locating the fractions, I'm calling them fractions, who all have irrational roots. Okay, so the solution lies in this only. We will try to convert the irrational denominators into the rational denominators. Okay. So before I do that, first thing, do you agree that locating this on number line is equivalent to locating its equivalent fraction? Means locating half on number line is equivalent to locating 2/4. The equivalent fraction of half is 2/4 or 3/6. Okay, so locating it through doing 2 pieces and marking 1, 4 pieces marking 2. So locating this means locating this. Yeah, so if you agree, so locating this on number line means locating it's in equivalent fraction. So our strategy is we are going to develop an equivalent fraction of this who has rational root. Okay, now to convert it into a fraction, equivalent fraction, whose denominator is rational, by which factor will you multiply? Okay, so we know there are infinitely equivalent fractions for this. Okay, but if I multiply this by root 7 and root 7, what will I get? I'll get 2 root 7 over 7. So we got an equivalent fraction of 2 root 7. Equivalent fraction of 2 root 7 is 2 root 7 over 7. Can we locate it on number line? Yes, 2 times root 7. Oh, okay, 2 times root 7 we have to go on number line. Then we have to find out 7th part. Yes, we have a way out to find out 7th part. Maybe you're not taught. So right now our purpose is not to locate it on number line, just to see whether we can locate it or not. So yes, this can be located. So now we have got a technique. Whenever we will get a complex irrational number, okay, so which cannot be located on number line, we'll convert its denominator into rational by multiplying by a suitable factor. Okay, now the thing is, when we are not supposed to locate them on number line in class 9, means you will not be asked to locate it on number line, because you are not taught that technique, how to find out 1/7 of a particular number. Then why are we doing it? We are doing it just to know these numbers. See, I've told you before, why do we study any number? Why are we going through addition, subtraction, or location of anything? Because these all things gives us an idea about how big, how small are the numbers. And once we know all these things, that means we are well acquainted with numbers. So the idea is that only, to get acquainted with the numbers. Okay, so yes, this can be located on the number line. So now we can get an idea about how big is the number. So we are familiar with this number also. Okay. So instead of locating, our topic becomes simplify irrationals. simplify irrationals. Okay, simplify irrationals. Simplifying any term means bringing it to a level where we are able to understand it. Okay, so we do take it in this way that we do not understand this number. Why don't we understand? Because we don't know how big is this, how small is this, where does it lie on the number line. Okay, so simplifying this irrational means converting them into a fraction with rational denominator, because that is the position where we can do it. So simplify irrational means we do not understand it, then we'll multiply it with a rationalizing factor and we get this. Yes, we do. This is the simplified form because we know how to locate it on number line. Now there are many more numbers, just like if you have 3 over root 2, then you will multiply it with this, then you'll get this, and this is the rationalized form of 3 over root 2. Okay, this technique of simplifying irrational is called rationalizing the denominator. Okay, so rationalizing the denominator. Root 10 over root 3, this is not the simplified form. We have to simplify it by rationalizing its denominator. And what is the rationalizing factor? Rationalizing factor is gonna be root 3, not root 10, because we are rationalizing the denominator. Okay, so we have to multiply by root 3, but we do have to multiply the numerator also by root 3, because otherwise we'll be changing this fraction. This will get changed. So root 3 is the rationalizing factor for root 3. That's why we multiplied numerator and denominator both. And here we got root 30 over 3. This is the simplified form as we can locate it on number line. Now rationalizing factor for this 5 over 2 root 7. As we have to rationalize the denominator, so we'll focus here. What is the rationalizing factor? If you are thinking 2 root 7, yes, it is rationalizing factor, because when you multiply 2 root 7 by 2 root 7, you'll get 28, which is the rationalized. But why to multiply it with 2 root 7 when the problem can be sorted with a simpler factor, which is root 7? Okay, so we can simply multiply with this. This will become 5 root 7 over 14. If instead of you would have multiplied with 2 root 7, your final answer would have come this only. You may check it. This only. Okay, it would have increased your one step. Now coming over to one more. We are rationalizing the denominator, but we can have a fraction of this type. Okay, suppose we have this root 2 over root 3 plus root 2. How to rationalize it? Okay, again we have to focus on denominator only, which is root 3 plus root 2. By what should we multiply? If you are thinking root 2, then this won't get rationalized. If you're thinking root 3, then this will not get rationalized. If you're thinking root 6, again they won't get. Both of them won't get rationalized. Okay, you can check it. Root 3 plus root 2. If you multiply it with root 6, this is gonna be root 6 into root 3. If you'll do it, you'll get to know this will become 3 root 2. And root 6 into root 2, this will become this. So if you multiply this denominator by root 6, you'll get this, which is again irrational, and we won't be able to rationalize the denominator. Okay, so what to do? So we know a plus b into a minus b is equals to a square minus b square. When we square any irrational, it becomes rational, no? Because root 2 square is root 2 into root 2, it's 2. Root 3 square is 3. Root 5 square is 5. So when we square anything, then any irrational, it becomes rational. So here we can multiply this with root 3 minus root 2 because the answer is a square minus b square, and a square minus b square is a rational number. So this formula is going to help us here. Okay, so we will multiply, because the denominator is root 3 plus root 2, we'll multiply it with root 3 minus root 2. And as we are multiplying here, so is there. Okay, now it's binomial to binomial, and this is gonna be equal to a square. You can choose the long multiplication, but when we have a shortcut, why to adopt it? Okay, you'll get this only. And here, this monomial into binomial, don't forget, don't multiply this only with this. This is gonna multiply with this full. Okay, this is a sort of bracket here. Okay, so this is gonna be root 2 into root 3 is root 6, and root 2 into root 2 is 2. So this is gonna be root 6 minus 1, sorry, root 6 minus 2, and then 3 minus 2. Okay, root 3 square is 3, root 2 square is 2, which is gonna be equal to root 6 minus 2 over 1, which is root 6 minus 2 only. Can you locate it on number line? Yes. If we can locate it, then yes, this is the simplified form. You have to go root 6 step, then 2 steps back. Now we have one more problem. Not actually problem, means the problem is sorted now. If we have root 2 over root 3 minus 1, by which number will you multiply it with? Okay, we have to rationalize the denominator. We have to make it rational. So if we have to make it rational, just want to tell you, we cannot multiply only with root 3, because when we multiply this with root 3, it will get multiplied with both of them. This irrational will disappear, but irrational will appear here. This will become 3 minus root 3. So rationalizing factor of root 3 minus 1 is not root 3. It is again root 3 plus a minus b. So a plus b. So we will do it like this. Okay, this is root 3 plus 1, root 3 plus 1. Just the opposite sign for that. Okay. If you have root 3 over minus 1 plus root 3, so see, they are same. So it's actually a minus b. Okay, it's a minus b. So you can write it like a root 3. If the sum is somewhat like that, it's not a plus b, it's a minus b. Then you will multiply it with a plus b, or you just change it first, write it accordingly as it is simple. Okay. Now I've written the last problem of this video, means last problem of this topic. If your irrational is like this, is it simplified? No, because we cannot locate it on number line, so we don't know how big is the number. If somebody asks you to simplify it, that means you need a rational denominator. If you need a rational denominator, what is gonna be the rationalizing factor for this? Okay, this is because it has 3 irrationals. So nothing here. You just have to, because there are 3 terms, that's what it's creating a problem. Let's reduce them into 2 terms. Either consider this as the single term. Okay, so then means you can put this in the bracket, and this will become a minus b. And in that case, you will multiply it with a plus b. Okay, or you can consider it like this. Sorry. This as the one term, root 2 as the one term, and root 3 minus root 7 as the. Then it is a plus b, and here the rationalizing factor is. So now, as it is a plus b, so rationalizing factor here is a minus b. No? A plus b, we just change this sign here. Okay? And how will the sum proceed? I'm just doing quickly here. So I'm going with the first. You can go with the both, means both ways, either this or this. You can consider this as A and this as B, or this as A and the other one as B. You'll get the same answer in the end. So I'm going to do this sum quickly. Okay. So I put them together. This is my A and this is my B. Now this sum can be simplified like, so 1 will multiply with this. I'm making many mistakes here. Oh. This is 7 and this is 7. So this is 1 into this is root 2 plus root 3 plus root 7. And here it is A minus B into A plus B. So it's gonna be A square and here minus A square minus B square. Okay. So this is gonna be A plus B whole square, use the formula, or you may go through the long multiplication but use the formula. So A square plus B square plus 2AB. So A square, root 2 square is 2, plus B square which is 3, plus 2AB, 2 into root 3 is gonna be 2 root 6. So this is, I'm putting this in the bracket because this is the expansion of this. Now minus root 7 square which is 7. Okay, so this is gonna be root 2 plus root 3 plus root 7 over, this is 5 plus 2 root 6. Point to be noted, please, you cannot add it. This is 3 plus 2 plus 2x. So it will stay as 5 plus 2x minus 7, which is root 2 plus root 3 plus root 7 over, this is gonna be minus 2 plus 2 root 6. 5 plus 2x minus 7. So minus 2 plus 2 root 6. So we did this procedure but we didn't reach the conclusion because right now our denominator is not, it is not rational. So where did we reach? Root 2 plus root 3 over, I'm just writing it like this, root 6 minus 2. But at least the denominator is not as complex as it was in the beginning. So now we have to rationalize it again. Okay, because the simplification level has not reached. Our denominator is not rational yet. So what is here? It's 2 root 6 minus 2. To rationalize it, we have to multiply it with A plus B. So this is 2 root 6 plus 2 over 2 root 6, this is our rationalizing factor. So if you'll do it, root 2, see, this is a sort of trinomial expression and binomial, and you know very well how to multiply trinomial into binomial. Okay, root 2 into 2 root 6 is gonna be, I'm just writing the final answer. Root 2 into 2 root 6 is gonna be 4 root 3. Okay, 2 root 6 into root 3 is gonna be 6. 2 root 6 into root 7 is gonna be 2 root 42. Then with 2, it's got 2 root 2 plus 2 root 3 plus 2 root 7. And then our denominator is gonna be A square minus B square, which is 24 minus 4. So what means actually equals to 24 minus 4, which means we got a rational number in the denominator. Can we locate it on number line? Yes, this can be simplified 4 first. 4 root 3 and 2 root 3 can become 6 root 3, and then 6 root 2 plus 2 root 2 will become 8 root 2. But the thing is, can we simplify it? Can we locate it on number line? Yes, we can. Okay, I don't have a space here, so I cannot write the answer. Yes, this can be located on number line, and this is the simplified form. So, so the today's topic was rationalizing the denominator. Okay, I hope you understood. Okay, revise the rationalizing factor of different irrationals, and all the best.